welcome back to Shop Talk. Hey, we've got another new project here we're working on, and anybody can guess that's a axial RBX10 Rytf, and I'm going to put this together, and it's basically all parts that I found on the internet. So I ordered the cage, all this from Axial. I think the total cost of this was like 60 bucks, 70 bucks, something like that, for everything. One of the things I could do is you could pick orange, black, or this gray, which was the kit version. And I kind of liked the gray. I saw a couple of them, but I ordered the black fuel cage, and the this is a receiver box. So I wanted to tweak it out myself. Now I have all the parts here except for the side panel, both side panels and the hood, and those are on their way, but obviously I don't need those to put that together. That's just a simple, what, 3-4 screws on either side and a couple on the hood. But let me show you what I ended up getting and what we did. So the first thing is I found a set of axles. The factory axles are plastic, so I looked at it this way. Most people are going to update their unit eventually, so I figured why not just spend the money instead of buying a $550 ready to run and then you take all the parts off of it and put all new parts on it. You might as well just start from scratch and put all new parts on it the way you want it. So that's what I decided to do. So I was able to find these axles. These were $118. I'm not going to put any descriptions or links or anything to anything because the prices change so often. But if somebody wants, if somebody sends me a message and you want to know where I got a certain thing, I'll try to find it for them and post a link at that time. Anyway, I've already gone through all the axles. I've pulled them all apart. I greased all the ring and pinions. I checked all the bearings. I checked all the screws for tightness. I put some Loctite on certain ones. So I got that all taken care of. So that's all done. I found on eBay a brand new set of tires and wheels, 39 bucks. I don't know how you're going to go wrong with that. You can't buy them that cheap anywhere. And they are all brand new, never been used. I bought a set of brand new factory links on eBay for $20. So I thought that was a really good place to start. I don't have any problem with the stainless steel. I guess they have problems with these links. So maybe at a later time, if I have problems with the links, I will go to the solid aluminum ones. I will buy eventually the solid aluminum ones for these. These are just plastic, so I will change that. I found a brand new transmission on eBay, $64. So I thought that was cheap. Now I've already got a black cover for this because that cover comes with one of the other components I bought for the chassis. So that worked out really well. Now the other thing I have for the transmission is I have bought the 2-speed kit. So this can be it's got a high and a low range that way. And I wanted that because I'm also going to put a Fusion eventually. A Fusion Hobby Wing, I think it's a Hobby Wing Pro SE 2300 kV in this. And they're really good. I've got the 1800 and the little red one, my little red crawler, and I really, really liked it. So I'm going to get the 2300 for this. In the meantime, with the transmission kit, you have to have this little servo adapter kit because it doesn't come with the spline part that goes on the servo. So you have to buy a servo, but if you buy the kit, you don't need to buy the Spectrum servo. So I have this little servo here. It'll pop right in there and work just like a champ. So I also bought the the pinion gear. It was like $4 or something like that. I bought the factory set of shocks. These are brand new, never been used, and these were only like 40 bucks. So I mean that's pretty good prices. I bought metal drive shafts, and I bought the factory. For now, I bought the factory sway bar for, I think it was $4. For power, right now we're going to use, it's an 85 amp Spectrum with a 3300 motor. So that's where we're started to do this project. Now the first thing I'm going to do is, and we'll do it off camera, but we're going to go ahead and pull this transmission apart, and we're going to put the 2-speed kit in it. And then once I get that done, we can go ahead and start assembling and putting everything together. Motor mount will go into the, we'll pop the skid plate off, mount the motor mount the links on there, and then mount them to the axles, and then you just plug it all in there, put the motor all in. So let me go ahead and get that done, and we'll be right back. But I'm really excited for this, so we'll see how it all goes. This is a rock bouncer, and it's pretty cool. We'll zoom in here a little bit, take a little bit better peek at some of that, and give us a few minutes. We'll get that transmission done. We'll be right back. Stick around. Okay, here we are back with a little update. I got the transmission all done with the 2-speed in there. So I want to show you a couple of trials and tribulations. Now, the servo that they recommend, which is a Spectrum servo, a lot of people complain that they burn out real quick and they just have problems with it. So I have a, let's see here, the box, this Emax servo, and it was the only one that I had that fit in the housing. But the problem is it had little bitty splines. It's not a 25 tooth, it's not a 23 tooth, it's a lot smaller than that. So the servo saver that I bought extra wouldn't work. So what I ended up doing is I took the end, it's brass, it's got metal gears, so it's got a brass output. I actually drilled it and tapped it to 2.5. I believe the original was 2 millimeter. It's this screw right here, which is a little bitty, right? And I needed a longer screw, so what I did is I put the servo horn on there, the round one, and then I put this servo piece that they give you, or that I bought, and then the part with the spring, I put 2 washers under there with a lock washer and snugged it down really good. Then I took some medium CA and I put it around the edge and I glued that as well. And so now it works just fine. So I'm happy with that. We're going to try the 2600 rocket motor. This is out of one of my boats, or actually it was bought for it. It's a boat motor, but should work just fine. And we're going to run that for now. One of the reasons is it's got a 5 millimeter shaft, and the pinion gear is a 5 millimeter, not a 1/8. Now I do have an adapter right here, but it didn't seem like the adapter was working. And this is a 3300. Don't think we need quite that much RPM. This is a bigger motor, as you can physically see. 3650 versus a 3674 maybe, I think that might be, or 3670, whatever it is. Anyway, so we're going to run that for now anyway. So let me go ahead and keep working, but I wanted to show you the trans, explain my trials, tribulations with that. This is the piece that bolts here, and then that's for your speed control, so that'll end up going there. So I'll go ahead and get this mounted, and then we'll go ahead and get that mounted in the frame, and let's keep going. So anyway, be right back. Let's get some more done. Okay, so we've got the motor installed into the motor mount skid plate, and we're just kind of did that to mock it up. Now what's kind of nice is with the Spectrum, because this is obviously Horizon Hobbies, they have a little provision for where this switch goes, so you can have access to it. I was kind of surprised it wasn't flipped the other way for the wires, but I guess that way you don't have to have that long of wires for that. I've got the 2, one for the speed control, one for the 2-speed. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're just going to pull these 4 bolts out. I already pulled the 3 out here for the radio box, 1, 2, 3. And then there's 4, 5 in that radio box, pop right out. But we're just going to take the 8 bolts, 4 on this side, 4 on that side, drop the thing, and then we'll go ahead and get the links hooked up, get this the front and the rear suspension hooked up on that, and then slide the motor mount skid plate back up and get that bolted back on, and then we can work on the shocks. So give me a minute, let's get to it. Okay, here we are back. We've got the suspension all, or at least the front end and rear end installed. We got the motor mount and ESC all done. We have the radio installed. So actually everything is working at the moment. So as you can see, I've got steering, I got throttle, that's I think high speed, low speed, there's high speed, so that's cool. So everything's working, so basically all we have left to do is we're going to get this mounted into the cage. So basically the cage just goes on there, right? Hook up the suspension, put the tires on it, and then we're going to do the sway bar, and that's pretty much done. I've got, like I said, I've got aluminum covers for the sides and the front. I've got some really cool ideas to do with those, and so let's go ahead and get it finished up. I got to put some battery straps in as well. If you notice, I also added a little aluminum front piece. I figured that was a good thing to do in case you bash into something. So let's get it finished up, and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, we're back. We got it pretty much done. I do have some side panels coming, like I said, for the hood and the side, and I've got a unique name and color scheme for it, so we'll have a video on that when that shows up. That'll be here in about probably within the next week. The 2-piece speed servo, I think, crapped out already. Not sure why, but it doesn't seem to want to work anymore, so it's in gear now, so I guess we're okay. Whoa, spit everything off. I am surprised how big this thing is. I didn't realize it was going to be quite this big, but it is. And it's nice. Got the sway bar on, got the shocks on. Somebody on YouTube, I don't know who it was, but kudos to them. They put a piece of heat shrink tubing on there so you didn't hear the suspension springs. Front doesn't do it, but the back definitely does. Anyway, it turned out pretty good. I like the way the switch is back here. The ESC. I am going to change the power in this. I'm going to go with the either the Spectrum or the Hobby Wing 2-in-1 2300. It would be the Hobby Wing Pro, and Spectrum, it's a 2300 kV with the built-in ESC in the motor. They really crawl. I have one in the red one, the 1800, and man, that thing just works so good. But in the meantime, we'll run this one and see how it goes, test it all out. But appreciate everybody coming along for the ride. Servo's working good, steering works really good. I got to adjust the endpoints on that. But all in all, turned out really well. The one funny part is when you're putting this back shock on, you actually have to take this shock block out of there to be able to get the screw and everything in there, because the roll bar here is in the way. Not a big deal. You just 2 screws, pops out, put the screw in, put it all back. Not a big deal. I am going to be getting some aluminum arms down here. I'm going to leave the rest of them all stock for now anyway. I know a lot of guys are having problems with the ball ends breaking. I probably don't put my stuff through what they do. I'll have to cut off a little bit of the bolts here. And I'm also going to get some, they have that adjustable shock mount from Trill, and it puts the shock back here. I may end up doing that. I also have, for these blocks up here, I've got 2 aluminum ones coming for that. I thought that would be important to have. And other than that, all's well. I'll probably buy the aluminum skid plate. I don't want to go with the skid plate cover, not the whole skid plate. I think the plastic one's fine for now. Once they start stripping or getting bad, if you have to take these in and out a lot, then I'll probably go with the aluminum. I found one for like $60, I think. But it was a build of a kit that I created myself, buying the parts, So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it turned out pretty good. I think it saved me some money, maybe $100 or so. Because I already had the radio and electronics, so not a big deal. But there you go, guys. Hope you all appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I want to build the channel a little bit more. And throw a like in there, and by all means throw a comment in there. Tell me what you think, who else has one of these, and what they've done, and how they've fared with it. So we'll see how it goes. Till then, I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to you later.